2 formation. Road change now, we go racing for the first time this season. 3 hours of GT action is go.
That's very tight as they come down. Group of cars coming in. This has all got trouble written all over it. This is these 3 cars.
Drop downhill, they head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course. There's another one off through the gravel. As wide as possible as they drop downhill, putting that truck inside line. Yes, oh, he did. Through he goes.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to what is Race 3 of AOR's Season 11. This is the Tier 1 stuff, it's the Fast Boys. I'm Rage F1, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-commentator, Jamie Ellis, TwinBarrelJay. Now, I've heard, okay, that sometimes, only normally on a Monday afternoon, and it must be past 12, that he has quite a substantial part share of a patisserie company. He likes to roll up his little sleeves and get right in there with the croissants that get provided to most of France. Is that true, Jay?
I mean, you've been getting the binoculars out again, haven't you?
I have.
But
I have.
I will neither confirm nor deny, but the French do make wonderful pastries. So.
I've heard you're quite a big player in the patisserie game out there in France.
Well, I don't mean to brag, but...
One doesn't mean to brag too much, but I am quite up there in the
teach those
patisserie
Frenchies
game.
a thing or two about pastries every now and then.
Well, that was very strong words for the French. I mean, hello, Frenchies, welcome. Let's get right into the race this afternoon.
These are the worst parts of my week. Just 60 seconds. I don't know what you're going to say. Oh, God. Should we get on with some racing?
I think we should get on some racing.
I can bear that.
I like the beginnings, you know. I do ponder on what to say, but most of the time I just ad-lib, you know. We just go with it.
You can almost hear the cogs in your head.
Can you? Okay.
When it's coming out. Yeah.
Good, that's what I like. Hearing the cogs, though, is a very important thing to say, because George Boothby today will be exercising those cogs and that grey matter to keep himself up in the top spot of the current standings.
I don't believe he's here.
Oh, God! Okay, fine. Well, he won't be exercising that grey matter because he should be, because he is our current championship leader with 179 points. And Mikhail Statsenko just behind him with 172 points. Tinko van der Velde with 167 points. I can see that we have gone live into qualifying. You can see that up here. I will actually just quickly change the old bits and pieces so you can see what's going on. We're on board with Mr. Statsenko. Dara McCormack, or Dave, as he's lovingly been referred to this season, is currently in 4th place, with Luke Whitehead, the Ripper himself, in 5th place. Grantis Caracas was a Tier 2 bloke, decided he wanted to step up, and step up he did. He's in 6th place, currently with 76 points. Jarier is in 7th with 70 points. Somehow, that's quite nice. Symmetry, love it. Amir Hassini, always got a good following. He's in 8th place, sorry. Hugo Merles, he's in 9th. Jura Petrochenko, he is in 10th place with 60 points. He's actually joint 9th, technically, with Hugo Merles, with joint 60. And yeah, that's pretty much the top 10 so far. There are a couple more around about that time, you know. In Stroza, Angel in Stroza, he is in 11th. And BMW Nils, he's in 12th. And Candy Moonden, who we've actually grown to love, the current livery that they use. So, yes, that is pretty much where we are today. Who won last time out? It was George Boothby, wasn't it? And we had a fantastic race, didn't we, Jay?
Yeah, it's been an incredible season so far. It's been 2 action-packed races, and if we're going to get anything like that today, we're going to be in for another cracker. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, this one. We've got some McLarens and some BMWs back on form.
Yeah.
The Honda is in the mix. Crucially, the Ferrari, I don't think, is quite as strong here. But we're going to see the M4 and the M6. The M6 following is growing. Black Goldsaw has moved over
Oh, wow.
to the M6, sacrificing all of his hard-earned points.
All of those 5 points.
He just wants that big, wide M6. And I don't blame him for the long straight here.
Fair enough.
So it could be a huge day for the championship. As you say, George Boopy not here.
Shocked
as far as
at
I'm
that.
aware, unless he's joined in qualifying. And with the Hondas not quite, I don't think they're going to be the dominant car here. We're going to see the McLarens and the BMWs right in that mix up the sharp end. And could see some big strides and changes made into the championship in this one.
I've got my microphone activated. There I do. I was going to say, I would like to see a shake-up of the standings, especially the Black Goldsaw. We're on board with Statsenko right now, the current surprise to this season, actually, Statsenko. We've not necessarily known him to AOR, but now he's joined. He's thrown down the gauntlet, and he's really, really performed. Excuse my ignorance. I'm sure he's very, very well rehearsed in the current sphere of esports, and I'm sure people watching know who Mikhail Statsenko is, but unfortunately to myself, he's brand new. I think that probably stays the same for Jay as he comes down towards turn 8 on his fast lap. So it's an opening lap for most of these guys. I don't know where to call it. You're going to have those Hondas right up there on pace. We've seen that this season already, the Honda's mighty, mighty quick. But I think this track lends itself to a good degree of different types of cars. You know, I think the Porsche is going to be mighty quick round here. You just said it as well, the BMWs are going to be impressive too. I don't know what to call this one. Normally we have a gauge, but I think this one's going to be a little bit open, Jay.
Well, I don't mean to stick dagger in early on, but
Right.
I do my research and I sit here through practice to see how things are going to pan out. It's definitely McLaren and BMWs that are going to be challenging, I think, for those top 4 or 5 positions. The Hondas can do it, but they're going to have to pull out some incredible laps. But they have 3 boys that can do that in the form of Statsenko, Luke Whitehead and Van der Velde. So I wouldn't count them out, as is their talent, but I would expect to see a BMW or a McLaren on pole here, which would really spice things back.
It would.
Up.
It would. 153, I mean, I haven't even been into the one. I couldn't even dream about the 153s around here, Jay, but apparently we're already in them.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen these shores of amazingness. We've not seen him that high up. Felix Arndt in second place, and he's in a Audi, so there you go. Already having
Yeah,
some...
Audi's looking decent around here as well, to be honest. A few of them on
Moon
the back end
also,
of the
Gorka.
top 10 in practice, so yeah, they're looking pretty strong here as well. So I mean,
Max
that's
is
just
up
what
there,
we
look.
need, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go,
Needs
Jay.
them.
Your prophecy has been fulfilled. Jura Petrochenko goes fastest with a 152.9. I mean, we're already into the 52s. It's crazy stuff. Nick Orta in the chat says, I don't know, some of the commentary banter last week was pretty good. I mean, there was some grey areas we went through in the banter. We'll gloss over those.
We don't. Well, some of it's not banter. Some of it was potentially career-ending in any other circumstance. But you know, it's fine.
It was all fine. It's all
all
fine.
good.
Aston
Yeah,
Martin, apparently, according to Titchley saying the Aston is back. I can't see proof of that right now. Barrier down in 23rd place. So, yeah, let's maybe bring that up a little bit. And we hopefully will see a good showing from the Astons today. But you never know round here. Let's go on board with some of the boys improving this afternoon. Mikhail Statsenko, we were just on board with him. He's improved by 0.2. That will put him in contention for pole position. Jura Petrochenko also with a fantastic livery this afternoon. He has improved by 0.2. So, yeah, I mean, it's anyone's. I think we'll be trading blows here today, Jay. Statsenko's actually now found a further 10th. So he will be going provisional pole. Let's talk about some people we don't normally talk about. Tobias Schur. Currently, he's running round in 7th place, and he's up 0.3 already, and that will put him into contention for the top 3. And we're going to see some names that we don't normally talk about this far up. It's one of those tracks that lots of people know and love to hate, Jay.
Yeah, me especially.
I like this one. I like it.
Hopefully I don't get lost commentating as I do racing around it. But Statsenko has improved then. He carried that improvement you were talking about round the lap. He's now just under 0.2 ahead of Petrochenko's time, but we'll see if he can improve. as they start to filter across the line for what is their proper first flying lap. Now the tyres up to temperature, and I was expecting to see a few more BMWs up in that top 10 at the moment. Luke Whitehead pops himself up into 3rd place. Petchenko finishes off that lap then to regain provisional pole position from Statsenko with a 52.6. We're going to trouble the 51s at this rate.
I think
Probably not, but
you never know, mate. You never know. Now they're up to speed. The track's gonna get a little bit of temperature in it too. I know it says optimum, but lots of rubbering down. Car's getting up to speed too. We're on board with Arthur Camera at the moment. One of the only BS competition boys that we've seen doing quite well this season. The big old BMW. Reigning supreme down the back straight. Lots of BMWs coming through right now. Camera up into 4th place. Fantastic opening lap for him. So he'll be very, very happy. As you've probably all noticed, I am still suffering slightly with AIDS of the nose. So, you know, got a tissue on hand, Jake. Got to keep the old medication going. I'm still dying inside.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
just shove it up. Shove it up there, good.
Yeah.
You know, that's in for a penny, in for a pound.
Why
Might
not?
as well make it as nasally as possible. Darren McCormack, I wasn't sure about the Porsches because they didn't really put any. Well, he didn't put a time in practice, but he's up into 3rd place, showing that what you said, the Porsche is going to be competitive here. And that is a very good lap. He found a good setup in Watkins Glen that allowed him some straight line speed, and he seems to have done that again here. So that's a very good opening effort from him. And then the McLaren that I was waiting for, which was... Oh, he's now dropped outside. 10? Where's he gone? Oh no, it's Crackers I was waiting for. Yeah. Who's the top running McLaren in the championship at the moment. And if that McLaren's going to be strong around here, it's going to be a good day for him. He's up into 6th place, and Walsingham's the other one in the top 3 or 4 in practice, into the top 10 now as well. So they all reset for another run then.
Yep, Luke Whitehead improves, gets himself back up to 3rd place. I saw that. He actually lost time behind the number 77 McLaren there. So into the pit for Luke Whitehead, get some new boots, and go out and put in a better lap. I just missed the click on to go on board with Angel. He's just come across the line and got himself up to 7th place, finally getting a good time because he was way down in the 20s, I think. We do have some of the boys improving a little bit further down. The Ferrari's not doing well this afternoon. You've got Merlers, Jardier, Samir Foch, Patat, Vasily Anarev, all way down on their times, or where they should be really in consideration to actual overall pace from these boys. So Samir looking to improve here. He's got a lot to do. He's got a second really to find. He's only got 3/10 on this lap at the moment. Felix Hacker down in 42nd place. He's up a second at the moment. So watch to see what will happen with Felix Hacker. But no time set at the moment from Sherritt and Black Goldsaw either. So lots to be done yet. We've still got 5 minutes remaining as Samir Foch crosses the line. Didn't actually get time in. Okay, must have abandoned. He's now started a new one, so we'll keep an eye on him. Maybe we'll stay on board with Samir and see what a Ferrari can do, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe that's what George Bruceby knew. Maybe he couldn't face it this afternoon because it's not looking a strong car.
Some points are any points, though, mate.
Last time around. Well, yeah, you've got to take what you can when you can get it. It might be dominant for the last three races. You never know. But yeah, they're really struggling. We've got Samir just ahead of Darren King at the moment, returning this week. And I was expecting to see him up there somewhere in the McLaren, considering it's strong round here. But, you know, don't know how much practice he's necessarily had. But I'm sure he'll be hoping to improve from there. And I mean, he's 39th and Samir Foch is 38th, but they're 1.3 seconds off the pole. That's almost can be the difference between 1 or 2 positions in our level of racing range. In this one, it's the difference between pole position and 39th place.
That's how close these boys are. Absolutely incredible. Someone else we should probably keep our eyes open for is the likes of Marek Schintz. He was doing very well. It's actually in 19th place now as Samir Foch almost clouts the barrier on the exit of 8, but manages to keep it out. Can't see how much he's up by. Let's have a little look at the moment. Samir Foch of the Yas Heat team. Whereabouts is he? He's actually still not having much luck, Jay, I don't think. He's actually, a 10th up. So, not one for the Ferraris this afternoon, I don't think. A little bit behind.
Yeah, no, the top running at the moment, Mark Vart and Hardier in 22nd and 23rd, and that's still 7 and 8 tenths respectively off that pole time. So that'll be where Samir Foch is aiming for. around the back end, the front end of the top 20 as he crossed the line to improve to 35th. Not quite found enough on that occasion, but he'll go again if he can. Yeah, but these boys always race well, so you never know. They might be able to get through the field later on. Another one maybe needs to do a little bit more at the moment, Tinko van der Velde. Obviously, this is a great opportunity for him and Statsenko and Dara and Luke to gain some points on our current championship leader, George Boothby, if he's not going to be here. Only good enough for 12th place at the moment, though, for van der Velde. So he'll be hoping to find a little bit more time. Statsenko and Whitehead up in second and third. So that's the kind of times he can be doing in this Honda if he can find a way around this tricky Paul Ricard circuit a little bit quicker than he's doing so already. So easy when you say that.
Jumped on board with Dara McCormack at the moment, the other Williams esports team driver. So yeah, it's good. We're catching up with Tinko van der Velde. He's down there in 12th place, but teammate in 4th. These guys all still contenders for the championship. Now George Boothby isn't here. So lots of points up for grabs. He's actually down. He's gone for another run, Jay, by the looks of things. Should we go on board with a Porsche all the way through? I think we should. Looking at the different sector times, though, Statsenko, he's either just about started a lap. I think he has, actually. He's only 13 seconds in. No improvements in the first sector. Neither is Luke Whitehead. We'll keep an eye on those split times, but currently in 2nd and 3rd place. They will have another run after this. Arthur Camera in 5th place. No improvements for him. Rantis Caracas is actually down on his last lap. He's in 6th place. Price in 7th place. He's currently on the bubble. No improvements. Angel is on an outlap. And Petchenko. The track's changing, Jay. Everyone isn't doing as well as they did in their first runs. He's down 3/10. The pole position currently is open and up for grabs. Anyone who improves in these final laps that they can put down, I think, could snatch it. Luke Whitehead now up a 10th as he enters into the 2nd sector. It's incredibly quick for these Hondas going down the back straight, so they can really get some time if they can get the slip working for them. We've seen how good it is at previous races on the straight. So yeah, the Honda's still looking good. Very surprised to see the McLarens doing so well this afternoon.
Yeah, that's waltzing him up into 2nd place, and that's as it was in practice. So those guys are now blocking out the front pro McLaren as Dara McCormack loses it. The high-speed right-hander might have to back off. I don't know.
No, he's up still. This is where he lost time last time around, so he's actually up on his previous. So although it was a bit of a wiggle, he didn't lose anything from it, Jay. We're still a 10th up. A 10th will get him around about where he is. It's 2/10, I think, really, to Luke Whitehead. So he's got to make some improvements in this final sector. But guess what, Jay? He's in a Porsche, so it can happen in the slow corners. He's just got to push it, keep that momentum going, and he could run to the line with a 10th or so, but he's on the bubble now. I don't think we're going to see a very big improvement from Dara, but he will go again. We've got 40 seconds of qualifying remaining. Yellow flag out, but I think we're all good. As he comes across the line, he's actually down. He's going to go for another run, Jay, here. One more to go, I think.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. This will be the quick laps for these boys. The tyres won't quite be in the right place. The first part of that first flying lap. This is now the 2nd lap. This is where the tyres will be at their best. So, yeah, hold it, put it all on the wall. On the line, whatever.
What you meant.
You know, I love my incorrect similes. In the heat of battle.
He's not, sorry to interrupt you, Jay, he's not going to take further part. He is in the pit, so is Statsenko. So they have settled for at least 2nd or 3rd. It could be worse. Camera also settling. Marek Schintz down there in 13th doing the same. Maya as well in 17th. The Apple man himself also in 22nd. No further part in this qualifying session. We're on board with the Ripper Whitehead himself as he comes down the back straight towards turn 8. He's got a lovely slipstream from Dave just ahead, so we should see an improvement for Luke Whitehead if he can keep it together in the latter end of this lap. And this is where they improve down the back straight. You can see in the back of the picture, you've got Moonen there looking mighty quick in this session at the beginning, down in P16. Hopefully we can see an improvement then. I'll keep an eye on the sector time. Isaac Price is up a 10th. Crucially though, Luke Whitehead's not improving, Jay. This second part of this lap has not gone well, or the stint I should say, for these guys. They're not able to switch the cars on. I don't know if we've had any changes in track temp, but they seem to have put out absolute blinders at the beginning. No one's improving. Petchenko down 7/10. Dara McCormack has found a 10th, Jay. That mystical 10th in that final sector. Can Dave do anything about these guys at the top? He's got to find 2 more though to make it happen.
Yeah, he just needs over 1.5 to try and make his way up into the second row if he can. Luke Whitehead seems closer than he did at the beginning of the lap, though, but he's obviously not picking up time. It's Dara across the line then to see if he can move himself up a position. He doesn't, nor does Luke Whitehead then. You're right, just something might have changed with the track conditions, or sometimes you just nail that lap so early on because you're completely up for the fight and you can't get to the same heights as you can. So it's going to be McLaren, Honda by the look of it, from a Porsche, BMW, a McLaren, a Honda, and 2 more BMWs for the top 10. Plenty of manufacturers in there and a little bit of a shake-up.
Yeah, no Italians though, unfortunately. They went for coffee. Not here today, not even inside the top 20. That says a lot for the outfit in Maranello. No Ferraris inside the top 20. Does that go back to the top 30? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. You got 23rd, Mark Vart, then 26th, Jardier, Hugo Merles, and then the likes of Samir Foch a little bit further down. So yeah, Ferrari definitely not the place to be this afternoon. But what a fantastic qualifying session it could have been if we only took part for the first 7 minutes. Unfortunately, a little bit of a damp squib at the end there, Jay, but never mind. We had a run to the line, just wasn't enough, was it? I think Jura Petchenko and Walsingham saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, they'd all obviously got their laps in early enough, but crucially, it's the 2 McLarens that are locking out the front row, which is, I think, exactly what we need for a cracking race here, because we know just how good Statsenko and Whitehead have been in those Hondas, but they got a different challenge this afternoon. Jura Petchenko obviously has been pretty strong all the way through. Walsingham, we haven't seen so much of in the top 10, so that's going to be really interesting with him starting from the front row. And then you got Dara as well. And the BMWs, I'd still be interested to see how they're going to get on the race. We did end up with 3 of them in the top 10, but not quite at the sharp end as I was predicting. But they might have a better race car. You never know.
You never know. Anything can and will happen in motor racing, so we'll have to find out and see. Well, let's go through the grid as we see it right now. Crazy enough that we've got 2 McLarens, as it may seem to be, at the top of the grid. They are the likes of Jura unsafe entry Petrochenko, as I like to coin his name. I'm only joking, Jura, love you really. Walsingham in second place, joining him on the front row. Statsenko and Luke Whitehead will be on the second row. That's probably the best qualifying session for Luke Whitehead, isn't it? Not, might have been, I can't quite remember. Anyway, let's see if he can hold on to it. The race is a different kettle of fish. We have Dara McCormack, the Dave himself, and Arthur Camara on the 6th row. 7th row, Grantis Caracas. On the 4th row, Grantis Caracas and Angel. On the 5th row will be Price and BMW Niels. Lots of BMWs here. 6th row will be Scher and Tinker van der Velde. He's got some improvement to do. Not going to be very happy with that position. But Hondas haven't been as well represented as we've seen. So we finally threw a massive cat into a pack of pigeons with this track. And I like that. 6th row of the grid will be those two. 7th row will be Marek Schintz and Felix Arndt. 7th row will be 7th. I'm getting this all wrong. Let's just go with numbers. 14th place will be Arndt. Yonkers will be in 15th. Moonen in 16th place. Meyer in 17th. Vanko Wunko Dimitrov in 18th. Valentin Barrier will be next to him, 19th. Kalperman in 20th. Let's go back even further, shall we? See how it's all gone out. We've got Marek in 21st. The Apple Man himself in 22nd. Mark Vart in 23rd. Hubert Simonensky. Got big names here at the back of the grid. It's all changed around so much this season. It's quite funny. Felix Hacker, we've got there in 25th. Jardier, Hugo Merles. So we've got the Gas Heat boys coming a bit further down. 26th and 27th for them. Then we've got Gert Fischer, Luke Addison, and Tom Gorka in 28th to 30th. Jack Alexander, that's probably the lowest we've seen him all season, down in 31st. Philip Manor in 22nd. Sven Hettich in 33rd. I said 22nd, I meant 32nd. Darren King in 34th place with Samir Foch, so that should be a good little fight. We have Leon Berndt, Cody Sherritt down there, 36th and 37th. Patat and Lois will be down in 38th and 39th. Boris in 40th. Connor Wright down there in 41st. That's a big name right back there. 42nd, Angus Fender. Vasily Anarev in 43rd. Black Gold Store is going to do a last to first attempt in 44th and dead cold stone last. Let's see what the Stability Control 88 team can do from right there at the back. It's an interesting strategy, Jay. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It's brave, but if any car's got the straight line speed potentially, it's that M6. He'll be into the lead by the end of the long straight. Don't you worry. Yeah, it's just winding up and letting you go for those grid run throughs. Never change.
Today it just didn't work. I didn't even get halfway before we gave up on the first, second, third.
I don't know why you try the rows.
It doesn't work in my head, but I try my very, very best to do it. I give it a go because it's nice when they start together in rows. But yeah, anyway, we'll get back to it. Yes, I did disable the bots in the chat. I'm sure if you wanted to find yourself an adult dating site, you know how to use your keyboard. You don't have to come to an esports stream to find your next partner in life. But if you do, you'll probably get rigged of all of your money if you go to that website. Don't click on it. I promise. They are all out to get your credit card information. Welcome everyone in the chat. I see that Mini Simeon joined us. Good morning to the commentating team. I don't know where you would be in the world to be saying good morning to me, but good morning and hello in wherever you come from. No Boothby? No Boothby. Where they're from? Sorry.
Or South America.
South America
or South America.
Ah,
one of the two.
See to you. I don't know what hello is in South American. Portuguese and Spanish, right?
I'm not going to try.
Hola! Good morning.
It could be North America.
Could be North America.
That's Australian. What am I doing? Oh. Okay. Got a race on our hands.
We do have a race on our hands.
Pretty spicy.
Oh God, Australia. You were right. Good day. Slap a shrimp on the barbie. No, we won't go any further. We have a long.
Go the other way around. I knew that. You see, subconsciously.
You got it. Australians, right? Our filthy cousins that live far out east. Why not?
You know, I like my stats.
Yes, I do.
So
please do tell me more.
Well, no, you don't. But you know I like them.
Yes, I know.
It's an interesting front row here. We've got Jurapetchenko, whose best finish is a second, starting on pole position, and Walsingham. This is his second ever AOR race, according to the admin site. So, second race starting on the front row, and Jura having never won a race. So, yeah.
I'm Team Jura in this situation, by the way.
Got to be brave as possible. Well, we don't know with Walsingham. Obviously, he's very quick, so I presume he's racing in other leagues. But Jura has shown that he can race with these guys in the past, and super quick and competitive. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
JF in the chat asked who's the highest placed Brit. That would be Luke Whitehead. He's probably got enough fans. Technically, if we're talking about Brits, I'm not sure if Dara is Northern or Southern Ireland, but he could be classed as a Brit if he is in the northern area. So yeah, you've got 5th place or 4th place to support. Luke Whitehead, though, needs all the support he can get.
We've got Isaac Price in 9th as well.
Ah, there you go. Isaac Price in 9th place. You can support the Famalam. I'm sure there's lots of people are saying where they're from. We've got someone from the Netherlands. Not surprised we're watching league racing. There's someone Dutch here. They love their league racing, don't they, the Dutch? Spain, Queensland and Australia for Mini Simeon. Anywhere else? Who's the weirdest location? Not weirdest, but who's the furthest away? Who's from
being from our weird countries of region? Have a go
from the outer reaches of Mongolia.
And get us cancelled for a 5th time.
Oh dear, never mind. When will we learn? Not today, apparently.
Apparently, not even I do.
No,
last
definitely
week,
not.
So.
Did we ever find out who was the the chairman of defence? It was Statsenko, as I get silence from Jay, as he doesn't want to cancel himself. Oh, that was it, Minister of Defence. Never mind. Statsenko's Minister of Defence was his massive rear end, as we found out.
To go green.
It is almost green. It is almost green. We've got only a couple of 100 metres to go. Who is going to be first into turn 1? Will it be Petrochenko or will it be Walsingham? I'm going to go for Jura Petrochenko. He's going to hold on to it round the inside. I am all for Jura Petrochenko. We've gone green, 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 Jay. Statsenko peels off and goes for the middle line and pushes Luke Whitehead to the outside, almost rubbing him into and off to the runoff area. He knows he's going to try and do something. Oh, Luke Whitehead thinks better of it, but there's a tap between the two top boys, and there's another one as he spins off. We've got a huge incident there at the back. Lots of people are going to be involved with that. Statsenko, unfortunately, causing absolute chaos here today, Jay. Look at all of the chaos that goes on around him. We're going to have to go 30 seconds back there because I really want to see what happened on board with that. That looks like an absolute nightmare, and it starts with Mikhail Statsenko and Luke Whitehead causing chaos, Jay.
Yeah, what an incredible start from the two Hondas, but they just ended up with nowhere to go. Statsenko went down the middle of the two McLarens, I think, and then had to slow down on the exit because he'd gone so deep on the brakes. I think that's what caught Luke Whitehead out. Statsenko suddenly appeared in front of him on the brakes, and that was that little tap from Luke Whitehead. I'm not sure there's much he could have done about it, but it's put Statsenko right down the back of the field. Luke Whitehead, I'm just trying to work out where he is. I think he's still up in that top 10.
I can't quite see. His 5th place is
he's
the
5th,
ripper.
so yeah, he's not come out too bad from it. Statsenko, that's a shocker
gracious.
for a day he was hoping to cut into the lead of George Booth.
He was. I mean, there's absolute chaos
Oh,
going
he's
up
leading.
ahead.
Don't know how it's happened.
Dave is leading. Dave is in the lead.
Dave is leading the race.
Fantastic.
In that Porsche.
Go,
Not
Dave,
sure
go.
how that's happened.
I saw there was a race going down towards turn 8. Top tier racing, 100%. This is AOR. This is back to the norm. Well done, everyone. Welcome. And do pull up a chair, get some coffee on. This is AOR. We're back to normality with absolute chaos at the beginning of a race. All because there was a fight for the first place spot. And some would say it involved Luke Whitehead. Was it Luke's fault? I don't think so. There was touching, there was rubbing, but it was all fair in my eyes.
Well, he went into the back of Statsenko, so you'd have to say if any blame was to be at fault, it was him. But obviously Statsenko appeared in front of him and immediately hit the brakes to try and slow down for the corner. So was there really much he could do about it in that split second? Probably not. Grantis Caracas has made a cracking start up to 4th place, picking his way through that trouble as well. So we got 3 McLarens in the top 4, but not a McLaren leading, because that is Dave, who has hit the front at the moment off camera. He's in 6th place for BMW. I think he's lost 1 off the line, but he's still up in that running. Angel Instroza, I think, has held steady in 7th. Marek Schintz in 8th in that Mercedes, continuing on his good form from what he was going last time out. And then it's Yonkers and Phoenix Arndt that round up the top 10 as we come to the end of lap number 2.
We've got some weaving going on from Dara McCormack. He's trying to hold on to that position. He knows that he is a target down the back straight towards turn 8, and the McLaren's going very close behind. We did have a good 3-4 wide in the lap previous, but this is where the McLaren's gain and gain and gain on the back of Dara. He's going to be feeling that loss of power going down the back straight. How he managed to get past them at this point in the race, I've got no idea.
Twitch through the fast right-hander. He's going to have to back off there to avoid getting a penalty. He cuts back across in front of Petrchenko. Just about holds on. Petrchenko is going to try and challenge him into the second part of the right-hander, though. That was very twitchy from Dara there, and she did well to hold on to it. I think he might have a track warning after that one, though, because did not lift out of the throttle at all.
Simeon saying that Luke Whitehead has been very punchy these past few races and should be named the new Minister of Defence. I think so. That does sound like a very good name to have for Luke Whitehead.
Offence, apparently.
The Minister of Offence.
I very much agree with that.
Okay. I mean, very much so. You could say that he was a little bit on the offence, right? Or on the defence. He was pushed very hard into the side of the wall at the start, you know. Statsenko was so aggressive on the inside of Luke Whitehead going into that turn. We could see the tears almost coming out of his eyes as soon as they made contact. And yeah, the spin happened. But what was more interesting is what happened behind that incident, right? Half of the field was caught up in a separate incident that was spurred on by the Luke Whitehead Statsenko push, because everyone else tried to avoid. I did notice as well, Statsenko peeled off the track, reversed, and then hit his brakes. So whether he gets told off or penalised for not holding brakes, I'm not entirely sure, because the rule is, technically, you're in an incident, you hold brakes, so people know where you're going. But he peeled off the track backwards. We'll have to see how that goes for him later on, and see if that, unfortunately, comes down to an infringement, as Luke Whitehead tries to work out one of the, I think it's Grantis Caracas, actually, and he looks like he's got a run on Grantis Caracas. That Honda is epically fast down the back straight. We've almost got a run for the lead here as well. Jura Petrchenko very close to Dave as Grantis Caracas defends to Luke Whitehead behind, and there's a BMW going for a move. Looks like that's camera on Angel Instroza.
Yeah, he is. He's just about found his way down the inside then. Hopefully he doesn't drift wide through that right-hander. But, yeah, Grantis Caracas was a little bit saved there because he was able to gobble up that slipstream of Aidan Walsingham, which kind of saved him because Luke had a very good run on him. But status quo there, and off camera has managed to stay ahead of Angel Instroza then up into 6th place. Yeah, it's a lot of casualties from the back end of those early incidents. Candice Moonen It's just ahead of this battle, actually, MP40. So nearly a lap down, but it's obviously got that pit stop out the way off. Patet caught up as well as Dimitrov. Statsenko, obviously, we saw he's decided to take a pit stop as well to get that out of the way, probably get out of the traffic. He's in 37th place at the moment.
Very tough defence there by, excuse me, Dara McCormack going into turn 1. Left a little gap on the outside and then closed it as Dura tried to exploit. So yeah, no movement just yet. You can tell where the benefits of these cars come into their own, and at the moment Dura Petchenko is actually holding on through the more beneficial area of the track for the Porsche. We could see a run and a change for the lead here, Jay, as they go through 6 and 7. We're going to, oh my goodness, so much so has the pack spread out because of the incident. We're actually coming up to our first back markers already, Jay.
Well, as I just went through, they've all taken their pit stop then.
Yep.
So they've decided to get in early, either with damage or just tactically to get out of the trouble. See, that one pit stop is now the mandatory out of the way. Petchenko then looking left to right as Dara moves left to right. He's going to hug the inside line. He's been twitchy through this right-hander before. He goes in deeper, which will put him out wide again. He's gone to the left of those barriers. Petchenko looks to see if the door is left open on the right. Dara's car is looking so twitchy through that right hand.
He's gone a slippery
I
setup
feel
again,
these
hasn't he?
McLarens have just got to be a little bit patient here. Yeah, exactly. He's had it all the way through the season. He's managed to find a straight line speed the Porsche maybe doesn't deserve, but it's at great cost of stability. But so far this season, he's had the talent to deal with that. But he's looking a bit ragged with Jure Petchenko all over the back of him at the moment. As that's odd. Thought Grant Cracks was going to have a dive up the inside into the final corner.
It's almost contact with those guys back there.
I don't know how there wasn't. There was about 4 different lines being produced. It's actually put Luke Whitehead under pressure from off camera. He's looking very racy early on in that BMW at the moment. But we've got a nice old train here of, well, this is all the way back to 9th place at the moment. Nobody really able to break away. So there's a lot of action still to come from this top 10.
We've got Marek Schintz up there again, Jay. All the way up there in 8th place. This man's on fire this season.
Yeah, hopefully he can have a better race of it this time and doesn't get caught up in an incident like last week. But yeah, he's really found some pace in that Mercedes when not many others do. Although, to be fair, I don't think we've got many Mercedes. He is actually the only Mercedes in this race. So it may be the OP car that no one has thought to use as the top 8 start their snake down the long straight already.
They are all
It's Luke Whitehead then just going to look to the outside of Grantis Caracas, using that Honda power. Caracas will be afforded some slipstream off Walsingham ahead to help him back out. It's going to have to be brave from Luke Whitehead to stick it around the outside here. Yep, knows better of it. Gives it up. Thinks about trying to get the undercut. But great defending from Caracas, and he holds on to 4th place.
They're all trying different lines, aren't they, as well? And they're just only a couple of feet from each other, trying these different lines, trying to get through better, trying to get the overcut, trying to get the better momentum in, trying to get the wider line into the corner so you can benefit on the exit, sometimes trying to take a shorter and shallower line into the apex to see what they can do, see if they can cover off either a dive or an opposing line from the person they're trying to gain time on. And you can see it in action here from Luke Whitehead. You can see him going through the final sector, just trying different things, sizing up his competitor, Grantis Caracas, to see if he can get any kind of momentum to get round him. It's a little bit of a stalemate, even though it's such a wide and open track. You've got such a big, long straight. Everyone seems to be quite well set up for Paul Ricard. Any car is quite represented around here, it seems, but apart from Ferrari, we won't talk about that. Anyway, all the others are pretty much, they're going for it. But yeah, sorry state of affairs for some of the other cars that we saw that did very well in qualifying. The likes of BMW Nils, I think unfortunately down in the mid to low 20s. Black Goldsaw has had some improvements. He's around about that kind of area as well. Moonen, unfortunately, having the incidents at the beginning, got tagged just by Simonensky a little bit. Statsenko tagged him a little bit. So yeah, caused some of the issues. That probably is what was that, which made that bigger accident happen, that little tag that he got as he was spinning off. So yeah, unfortunately to see them dropping down, but it has caused different action going on as we go for round God, I don't know, 4, I think, for this battle between Whitehead and Grantis Caracas. Does he have a run here? Does he have enough run here, Jay, to get a move around the outside? It's going to be Brave again. I think he's going to have to brake a little earlier as they go side by side, but no moves coming up from those boys ahead. You can just about see Dara going, still covering off Petchenko into turn 8. No moves there. Walsingham going quite wide, into turn 9 and 10, but manages to hold on to it. It's all stalemate at the moment, Jay. What could they do possibly to get past?
Well, it's so difficult when someone holds that inside line as Caracas has done the last 2 laps. You go around the outside there, you have to carry so much more speed because of the extra distance you're carrying. And we've seen with Dara trying to do that a couple of times, maybe not by choice, how far that kicks you back out wide and puts you in real trouble. So they've just got to be patient here, I think. The problem is they're all getting slipstream off each other, and any advantages they've got through the many corners of this track is all sort of eaten up by that slipstream train down the main straight. But they've got to be careful not to fight too much here as well, because you've got the 2 Audi teammates of Felix Arndt and Tobias Schur in the Prime E-Racing AOR team, closing up on this battle, and they're bringing Isaac Price and one of our championship contenders, Tinko van der Velde, with him. So we could have a train all the way back to 13th if these guys fight too much. But to answer your question, there's not a huge amount you can do. You're waiting for it all to kick off, really, and hoping you're not the one involved.
Yeah, you seem to think it's almost anyone's game at this stage. They're so close. We're on board again with Luke Whitehead. Try, Luke, try and dummy him to get that inside line. Just give it a go. Throw something somewhere. He's got to try. He always bump drafts him down the back straight here. He peels out. He is on the inside here, but you can see that Grantis Caracas gets the drive from Walsingham just ahead and manages to keep himself there. A little bit of a slingshot there from Luke Whitehead. Grantis Caracas, got to see him on the outside here. Has he got enough here? I think he has, Jay. He's made it work as we peel away at the wrong time, and they do go side by side. And I think that's Luke Whitehead manages to stay ahead, and Walsingham benefits by a little bit of time there. And is that camera that wants a bit of the action too at the back of them?
Yeah, he was desperate to get that inside line, but immediately had to pull back into that train because, as you said, Caracas was getting such a good slipstream off Walsingham. But that is Luke Whitehead through then. And, yeah, off camera, just licking his lips at the back of this pack at the moment. But he may have moved off position, but he's not exactly got much clear track ahead of him, Luke Whitehead. But gets him a little bit closer to the front of the train. Just looking towards the back end of the top 15. So the Aston Martin's definitely looking better. Valentin Barrier is up to 14th. I think that's 4 or 5 positions up from where he started. He's pulling along Joris Apple behind him. Hardier with a good start from those mid-20s up to 16th, but he's got a bit of a, well, massive train behind him with pretty much the rest of the field at the moment. Including a trio of M6s, which might be interesting to keep an eye on. We've got Nils Black Goldsaw and Angus Fender. Angus Fender and, oh no, they're not teammates. They're similar liveries, but they're not. And then Black Goldsaw obviously switching to that M6. Doing well on his last to first challenge up at the moment, up in P25.
He has done quite well, to be fair. He started 40-odd, wasn't it? 40-something, 44th. Currently in 25th, so he's got himself 20-odd places, which is actually quite a good statistic, isn't it, really? As we watch this little battle here for 18th place. I think it's Simonensky, Maya and Jardier all kind of around together. I think Hetic is at the back there. As Simonensky is trying desperately to get past Maya. He's got the inside line as they both get drags from Jardier just up ahead. The Ferrari doing very well, actually, in 16th place, considering the deficit we've seen this for this session, as they all kind of jockey for position. But I think Simonensky has actually got that job done. And some other cars at the back there, that BMW train, all very close as well, Jay.
Yeah, I was just watching Mayer and Hetic going wheel to wheel for 18th through that very tricky right-hander. As Mayer gets terribly out of shape as Hardy is trying to hold on against that battle. But yeah, you'd imagine they'd be able to use the straight line speed. But the problem is everyone else has got slipstream at the moment in this train behind Hardier. I was looking, Luke Whitehead did look to make a move for P3. He got alongside Walsingham, but Walsingham picked up the slipstream again from his fellow McLaren of Petchenko, and they stay where they are in 3rd and 4th place then. And it's really hotting up the back end, or just outside the top 10 as well. Isaac Price and I think Van der Velde were side by side a few corners ago, and Valentine Barry and Joris Apple have now caught the back of that train.
You said they would.
And yet again, I don't know where to look, so do give me a heads up of where exactly you are looking.
No, it's absolutely fine. I'm at the moment. I'm following what you're looking at. So Price battle with the very nicely liveried BMW G2 Esports team down there in 13th place. He's dropped back a few positions, hasn't he? Because he was inside the top 10, I think, at the start. So whether he was caught up in the chaos that ensued after Whitehead and Statsenko got together. Statsenko coming off absolutely horrifically after that crash. He has come in for a pit though, we can confirm he has pitted. I know chat were asking where he was. I did quickly flash to where he was on track so you could see what was going on. Let's see if the top boys are close for a pass as we go through this lap here. Oh my goodness, that was a good pull there from Walsingham. Not too sure if he actually made it past, but that is actually, I think that's Luke Whitehead getting past Walsingham. No, it's not. There was a big old move from
he might now though. Walsingham's gone very wide, losing the back end of that car, sliding across the road. Luke Whitehead again though, not really spotting that there's a car alongside him. Flash of the lights from Walsingham, and he just, well, they say Robbins racing, but was it?
Well, when they came together though, who was up? They were side by side, right? You know, whose corner was it?
Ideally, you don't make contact at all. But always was going to get his revenge there, going into the back of Luke Whitehead into the final corner, still flashing those lights, clearly not happy. But either way, Luke Whitehead is up into 3rd position then.
He is. Get to be careful though. Got 2 McLarens behind, 1 McLaren in front. Ripper sandwich this one at the moment. All the while, Dara McCormack and Jura Petchenko, I would say, are running away, but they're not. They're only 4 tenths apart. So we are a second back to 9th place. Oh, is that right? Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, they're nose to tail within half a second of each other all the way back to 9th, yeah. And then from, I mean, this has been the story of the season so far if you haven't been with us, but yeah, from 10th to 15th is then nose to tail. And then 16th all the way back to P25 and nose to tail in the Hardier train at the moment. It's just so incredibly close racing. That's what we love to see. And yeah, it's going to take a few instants, I think, to break these packs up. But for the moment, the Snakes continue their way down the main straight, led by Dave McCormack. And, I'd be a little bit more urgent now, Jura Petchenko. He's seen Luke Whitehead pass the other 2 McLarens. Not exactly with much courtesy. So you would expect he's going to need to get the hurry up in his attempts to try and get past Dara. But yeah, Dara's straight line speed is saving him here. He's just found a way with that Porsche to get a speed we didn't know it had. I thought it was really going to struggle here with what is probably the longest straight of the year. And it's just not at the moment. He's still able to hold on. I don't think Petchenko's been alongside at all yet for the last 4 or 5 laps.
He hasn't. He's been wiggling. No moves though. I'm just surprised how quickly Luke Whitehead has managed to close that gap. I think if Luke can get past Jura, I think Dara McCormack will be a sitting duck to the Ripper. No, George, there you go, confirmed. He's ill. So yeah, unfortunately, losing out on all the points today. So no George Boothby for Paul Ricard. He's ill and also in a Ferrari, right? He's a Ferrari, isn't he?
That's just going to make you feel more ill. Yes, it is, absolutely.
I mean, I turned
if there's
up
anything
and
that's not going to make you get out of bed.
Oh goodness, no. To be fair though, there's a lot going around in Old Blighty at the moment, as you can probably hear by me. But it is. It's that time of year, unfortunately. Very seasonal, us British folk. Very seasonal indeed. So unfortunately, we get all of the meningitis of the larynx as it comes round every season. But Luke
We've
White.
had a few pit stops. We've got Hugo Merles in.
Yes.
Sherritt, Gareth Fulin. There we go. Darren King, and the highest runner of those that just pitted was Isaac Price from about 14th, 15th position. So it'll be interesting to see as an early barometer of how the undercut might be. He was in that battle with Van der Velde, Arndt, Barrier, Schur and Apel. So we'll see how he does against them. Van der Velde, by the way, has been slowly making his progress through that second pack, and he's now at the front of it. And we'll see if he can make it a 10-train car for that top 10 now that he's at the front of it. He needs a few more points. Obviously, where is he currently? 3rd in the championship, isn't he?
Dara?
Only 5 points behind. No, Van der Velde.
Let's have a look. Van der
He's
Velde
5 points
3rd.
behind Statsenko, who's obviously having a poorish race. We'll see if he can recover. And George Boothby not here, so Van der Velde needs as many points as he can get to take advantage of it, and he's moved himself up into 10th place.
Yeah, I think what's opening up here is Tinker Van der Velde will retake the lead of the championship. Dara McCormack will give himself a healthy boost to his points. But yeah,
We've got one of the top 10 in.
Oh, okay, we've got to move here. Got to move. Sorry, Jay.
In that Mercedes.
Move for second place. No, it's fine. Luke Whitehead found the inside line into turn 1. Managed to get it stopped as well. That's crucial. Outside line, though, is open for Petrochenko, but doesn't take it. And Luke Whitehead, he gets himself up into second place. He is on a march, and it just goes to show that these Hondas are not stopping around in this.
You got Walsingham and
Yes.
Caracas side by side as well. Just behind this, Caracas trying to hold the inside line through the right-hander. And will Isaac Price potentially follow him through? There's contact between, it's off Kramer, not Isaac Price. There's contact between Kramer and Walsingham. And Angel getting interested at the back of it as well. We've seen a bit of contact with this top 10, but everybody's still going at the moment. As Angel and Strozer tries to look to the outside, and Walsingham looks to the inside of Kramer. Could we potentially go 3 wide here? Kramer will have the inside line, so surely is going to be favourite for this. Angel will keep himself interested on the outside. Thinks better of it. And that is Walsingham back up into 5th place. He's going to go a little wide there. Can he keep it to the right of those little boards? He can. And, oh, he's lost it again, though. Just that car sliding out wide. There's contact between Kramer again with Walsingham, and he's back up into 6th place. And Slonka's now getting interested at the back of this as well, isn't it? So many changes of position. I'm not sure if that's actually a net gain or loss for any of them. The amount it did change, but as you said, what has happened is Luke Whitehead is now up in 2nd place as Dave dives into the pit lane, and he's going to try something a little different as he saw maybe the writing on the wall with Luke Whitehead catching him.
Good time to pit that. I think that's bang on for Dara. Why take the risk with the likes of Luke Whitehead behind you and improving? Obviously going very well. Give yourself some space maybe, not get caught up in that race. However, it has kind of opened up the doors for Luke Whitehead. We could find that he starts to run away a little bit now. So we'll keep an eye on what he does time-wise. Let's maybe have a little meander down a little bit further back. We've got Addison and Felix going very, very close together. Hetich just behind, but only a 10th behind. Black Gold Saw up to 12th place, Jay. Just like to point out, 12th place, another 10
There's
under
been
his
a lot
belt.
of pit stops, but yes,
Don't crush my dreams.
He's doing well on the first to last challenge. What might be interesting here is the two primary racing Audis have pitted together, Arndt and Schur, and I'm just trying to remember who it was that I said. It's Isaac Price that had pitted from that battle a few laps early, so that'll be interesting to see how those guys come out and just see how powerful that undercut is. See if Isaac Price has managed to use those couple of extra laps to find his way past the Audi boys, who are now moving. So that's Schur on pit exit, that's Arndt on pit exit. Isaac Price coming down the main straight, he's going to move to the outside then. That's one Audi dealt with. That would have been about a net 12th place at the moment. That has worked out fairly well for him, although he's not exactly jumped the lost of them by a great distance.
So that's some of the main pitters that we've been talking about there. So Dara McCormack still comes out around that kind of place. Shintz has gone into the pit too. So yeah, we see a little jostle back there. So I was focusing what was going down the back straight at the time. Yeah, who came into the pit very, very quickly on? Wasn't the likes of Statsenko? You know what I mean? Early on. Statsenko.
Yes, it did, and I was just looking at that. It hasn't really worked out for him. I've got a feeling he probably had damage from that early incident as well.
Oh, little tap at the back.
Yeah, that's Connor Wright, Darren King, and Gert Fischer. I don't know if you can load that up, because that's 3 pretty damn quick drivers all getting together there.
Let's hop back in time and see what happened there. We'll go on board with Gert Fischer, I think. We can see maybe who caused what, but that was going into, I think, turns 4 or 5. That, I think, yeah, Darren King getting very close to the back of Connor Wright. Whether there was a tap there. Connor Wright, oh, yeah, slow speed hit. then unfortunately being met with a spun Connor Wright. Connor coming off the worst. As Darren waited for him. I think Darren did the honourable thing actually and waited for his crashed competitor there. So that's nice to see from Darren King. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty for that. Gave the position back early. That's the best thing to do, I guess, in that situation, right? You know you're in the wrong. Sort it out.
Yep, absolutely. These boys, they're racing hard, but they have that respect. Jura and Angel are both in. Dave whizzes past the outside of him, so he has gained a fair bit from lapping, for going one lap longer.
Yep.
So that'll be a good couple of seconds ahead, so that should be enough to keep him in the net lead, depending on Luke Whitehead's pace, obviously. Now he's released. And Marek Schintz has actually jumped up ahead of Angel Instroza and is all over the back of Petrchenko then.
Yep.
So that has worked out very well for that Mercedes early stop as well.
He's actually got fastest lap of the race at the moment, Marek Schintz. Doing very well on that new set of tyres. So, yeah, good to see that he's on literally fresh rubber, not on the qualifying tyre. So you never know, he might have actually eaten quite far into that qualifying tyre by doing, you know, a longer stint to get the laps in. That's why he's so far up. Now he's got some fresh rubber, putting some real good performance down. He's obviously got good top speed. Might even be a threat here to Jura Petrchenko coming down towards turn 8. That Mercedes used to be very good on the speed, but really, really close. Look, drafting all the way down to turn 8, but no move there, Jay. They go through together.
We're seeing a bit of bump drafting again.
Yeah, a little bit of bumping.
He didn't want to go side by side. I've gone many years without seeing it in ACC, and I've seen it twice in 2 races now. Obviously becoming a thing, and just maybe wanting to get Petrchenko to get on with it a little bit to try and get up with Dara. Petrchenko was a little out of shape through that double right-hander, but held on to it. McLarens haven't looked too good through there. Back ends, the car's been skipping across for quite a number of drivers, which put them in trouble a few times. Whether it was tyre wear, we'll see on this stint whether they hold on to them a bit better. So this is going to be the one we want to watch then. Luke Whitehead exiting the pit lane now with Dara already up to full speed going down the left-hand side. He's going to comfortably regain the lead of the race and have a couple of seconds to boot. That's going to be Petrchenko past Luke Whitehead, and Schintz down the inside. Luke Whitehead's going to try and brave it. More contact as he bumps the Mercedes out wide. Mercedes not going to go anywhere though. Let's see if he maybe fancies a chuck down the inside here, or whether it'll be a little bit calmer and he takes the calmer route. Luke Whitehead didn't want to lose 2 positions there. He's already lost one to Petrchenko.
Yeah, well, I missed the beginning of that. Sorry, I apologise. We got a little bit of it though as Darren McCormack left and we saw what happened behind, but kind of jumped on the boat a little bit late there. But hey, that's the top guys pitted, and it looks like it has given a little bit of space for Darren McCormack. Slight frustration for Luke Whitehead. He's got to size up Jura Petrchenko again and try and get past. So this is net 3rd place for Whitehead, 4th place for Schintz. Done very well out of that actually, considering where Walsingham is down 3 seconds. Angel Inestrosa has done very well at that too. So Camera, Grantis Caracas.
Maybe gone ball with balancing barrier, by the way, making a move for what I think is a net, sort of 11th or 10th, going down the inside of Shirt. That's a little easier than I thought it was going to be, but comfortably through. And making some really good progress in that Aston. He's actually ahead of Van der Velde, so he's showing 11th, but I think he's got Fender to drop behind him, and then Camera, Caracas and Yonkers will all be ahead of him. So yeah, I think it'll be a net 10th after that. Those other 3 have now pitted then. Caracas, I think, was the lead of those 3, or was it Camera? It was Caracas, wasn't it?
Caracas, Camera are roughly around that kind of area. Well, Camera's still out. I know Caracas and Camera, I thought he got past him. There was lots of shimmying around Walsingham area. I'm not too sure who came out on top. Caracas, though, in the pit now and just leaving. So let's see how that affects his position, because I think he was up to 6th before his pit and all the bits and pieces that surrounded that. So whereabouts is
slot in just
Camera?
behind Schintz.
Has he? Okay, just behind Schintz. So, oh my goodness.
Caracas, you mean?
No, sorry, I'm looking for what happens with Arthur Camera. Oh, he's not come in yet, so he's
not
actually
pitted yet.
Sols. No. Yeah, I thought he came in. We're watching him to come in. He's got to be losing time.
I did say he did, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought you said, but that's all fine. We will see if he comes in now. He's all on his own. He's on a completely different strategy to everyone else. You would have thought he can see the writing on the wall, and he should peel in, and he does. So there you go. Let's see what the damage is for him. I think it's going to be quite substantial. Is it the M6 he's in today? Can't quite tell with the BMWs. I think it is, right? No, it's not. He's got the new nose.
He's in the M4, yeah. The M6 boys are making decent progress. BMW Niels is the top runner of them. He's now found his way up into 18th place. He's on the back of Hardier now. He's not in so much of a train anymore. He did fairly well at the pit stops. He's at the back end of a train now, which is going from Barrier all the way down to BMW Niels in 18th. And we'll see if that M6 power can be used to get him back towards the top 10, which is where I was expecting to see BMW Niels today, to be honest. With that long straight. Not the best qualifying, but he's making up for it at the moment.
I think that the setups for these cars are so even because it's been such a hotly contested track. I think it is a very good, apart from Ferrari, we don't talk about that. I think it is a very good and even track for all cars involved if you are willing to sacrifice certain things in the setup of the car. Like you can see from Dara McCormack, sacrificed a hell of a lot of wing. I've heard rumours that he's on about 4 wing on the back of that Porsche. So yeah, incredible stuff if he's managing to pull it off. No wonder he's so wiggly going through turn 8, because that must be yeah, like dropping your trousers and rubbing your bare anus against a pine tree. Must be pretty damn scary stuff.
That from experience, or just
imagining? Yeah, always running through the woods, me. Simonensky, whereabouts is he?
I can't walk past a pine tree about it. It's a nightmare.
I just can't stop. Oh, jeez, never mind. He's actually in 25th place after his pit stop. He was right up there, but I think it was all fake noise because of what was going out ahead of him. We were talking about Arthur Camara. He's come out roughly behind, I think, Grantis Carreca, so he hasn't lost too much time. The big loser, though, was Walsingham. We saw that with a couple of taps, so maybe he fixed the damage. Yonkers hasn't been able to capitalise on the pit stops, unfortunately. He's in 10th place. Valentin Barrier, as you said, though, net 11th. You were correct.
Yes. Yeah, he's at the front of a very long train at the moment. He would dearly love to catch the train ahead. But yeah, so what sort of happened from that then? So obviously, Sadara has pulled out along with Petrochenko. They're sort of out of that 1 second range now from Whitehead and Schintz, who are a little bit distant. Krakus just behind Schintz. And then there's a bit of a gap to what was the back end of that top 10, isn't it? It's Camara, Walsingham, and then a bit more to Innestrosa and Yonkers. So all it's done is just sort of strung it out a little bit. It's stopped that nose to tail and a few smaller battles developing, but it's not going to take much for that to close back up again. Yeah,
that pit stop did, you know, unsettle the grid a little bit, but it has given us some nice gaps to look at and focus on. So that's the main thing. And some people have gained, some people have lost. So it's not all tears just yet. We've got the likes of Marek Schintz, who's another big gainer of that little setup that we saw that went on through the pit stage. Fender's still out there, by the way. So these guys are all going to move around a little bit more. One position will drop down. So that's Marek Schintz in 5th place at the moment.
Yeah, you're right.
Fantastic.
He's had a really good season, right into that battle.
Yeah.
He's shown glimpses of it.
Glimpses?
He's definitely shown the pace, but I mean, talking about just pure results.
There is, by the way,
over
Marco,
to my board.
His
results have been 19th and 35th.
Oh.
Because remember, he got taken out at Watkins Glen.
Oh, yeah, the rejoin
so
and the oof.
He's definitely shown the pace, but he's not necessarily had the luck to go with it. So hopefully that will change today.
How's the weather over in Statistics Corner today?
It's very chilly and full of pine trees.
But chilly with a taste of pine. We might have a move here out to the outside. Jura Petrochenko aggressively moves, cuts back through 8 as Dara McCormack gets caught out slightly, but no move there. Jura Petrochenko trying desperately to make something happen. Someone who hasn't improved or come alive since the change of tyre, Luke Whitehead, not necessarily getting on with the second part of this race session this afternoon. 24 minutes to go, not long to go yet. Sorry, long time to go yet. He's got some time to get some heat into the tyres, get rid of some of that fuel, so you might see Luke come back later. Oh God, I'll get rid of him, don't you worry.
No worries. Yeah, you're right, he hasn't, but he might be just biding his time. McLaren's, have been in the lower 53s. Luke White had a 53.6 last time around. Caracas behind a 53.3. Petchenko 53.4. So, yeah, he's not quite at the pace, but maybe he's just biding his time a little bit. And just see what happens with those ahead. He's also lost that slipstream, which might have been aiding him a bit early on and maybe making up for some of the lack of pace elsewhere on the track. But I don't know, I just get the feeling with Petchenko struggled so much to get past Dara in the first stint that we could see this top 10 Constantina back up very quickly if these two continue to go at it like this. So how many moves do we think we're going to have from Dara this time down the straight? It's going to be 7 or 8, surely.
Many.
To the right, he goes over to the left. Oh, he dummied me and Petchenko there. He's chinking left and right when he feels like it to try and negate on the longest straight. We're not even halfway down it at the moment. He's now picked the right-hand side. He's going to have to move back to the left at some point, but he wants to hug that inside line to force Petchenko the long way round. Going to have to be brave to do it round here. Better on the brakes, but massive twitch. Massive twitch from Dara. Petchenko will try and see down the inside. We'll hope to see Dara drift off to the left-hand side. He doesn't. He holds it nicely, gets it in for the second right-hander. And so it's breathless through there, isn't it?
He's got to be careful, though. He's not going to be able to get away with that so many times before that gets somewhat considered by the stewards, because there is live stewarding. Marco asked a minute ago, I did get it in, but there is live stewarding. I know the track limits will be, you know, adhered to, and obviously those exploiting those track limits will be penalised. So he's got to be careful with that. This is Dara, by the way. We just saw him go wide again around those barriers.
I've seen 2 where I don't think he's lifted, so he'll have 2. The game will do that for him. The stewards won't have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, I mean, a constant abuse of it, though. If he does get round that track limit, though, I don't know.
Well, he's gone to the left a bit twice without lifting, as far as I can see. So that will be 2 warnings, almost 100%.
Yeah.
And he's only allowed 2 more. That has allowed Luke Whitehead and now Grantis Caracas to close back up. Caracas has had a great little season so far.
He has.
He's nicely in the top 10 in the championship. And he's been chipping away with good results, an 8th and a 13th, and definitely threatening even potentially the podium here. He's just sniffing around the back of Luke Whitehead. So we're waiting to see what Snake version 6.7 does this time.
Look at them all go together. Oh, it's crazy seeing them all jockey for position. Luke Whitehead's getting right up in there. I said he had a slow turn on for those tyres, but they are properly hot for that back of Jura Petchenko now, as he does pull to the outside. I don't think we'll see a move. But he's got good.
Well, he will, because he's got the slipstream off Dara, and he makes contact again. Petchenko Caracas will now look to see if he can make an impression around the outside. Thinks better of it. Well, that was the risk, because Whitehead was suddenly picking. Petchenko went to the right so early that Luke Whitehead was picking up the slipstream off Dave, and almost thought about move around the outside and backed out of it a little too late. A little bit of contact. But I've heard they've got some of the best panel beaters in the business on that Honda team this season.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Those panel beaters are fantastic. Yeah.
It's actually made out of that stuff that you just heat up and it all pops back into position.
Okay.
Melts back to the car.
Goodness.
Yeah. So it sort of slowly moulds back to the car as the engine heats up.
Yeah. Luke really should put an accident repair sponsor on the back of that car, because he's on speed dial this season. As we like to see, though, fantastic racing. Rubbing is always racing between Luke Whitehead, the Minister of Offence today, as he goes toe-to-toe with pretty much everyone inside the top 5. Jura Petchenko, though, and Dara McCormack look incredibly close so far, even more close.
Do stop me if there is something happening to watch back there, but a really good little fight to jump on. You've got Valsidi Anarfrev in 35th, Cody Sher at 34th, Dimitrov, Fisher, and then Ribney. As I say that, they all sort themselves out. They were almost 3 wide at one point there.
Oh my God.
But it just shows every point is valuable and they're fighting all the way through.
We've got the snake again, Jay, as we go down the back straight towards turn 8. Luke Whitehead, though, doesn't follow suit with the second wiggle, because he knows, he learned what Dara McCormack did before. He was going to wiggle back, so Luke Whitehead might have got the jump here, Oh, he goes on the inside, sneaks his way through. Fantastic overtake. That's one of the overtakes of the season from Luke Whitehead. Oh my days. The balls on this man are literally the size of Jupiter's moons. Fantastic stuff from Luke Whitehead. Can't believe he managed to put it round the outside into 8 there. Full speed, full commitment. Panel beating his way into infinity. Cracking stuff from Luke Whitehead.
Petchenko had a little nibble back there, but couldn't find a way through. It's, I'm sure Petchenko just probably thought, he's not. you kind of, when you're on the inside there and all these guys are so close, you kind of think that's a done deal. You've got the inside line, no problem. But Luke Whitehead rewriting that script, getting himself back up into second where he was before the pit stops, and get back after Dara again. We are now back nose to tail all the way back to 5th. And a little bit more of this fighting, and Mark Schintz and Aidan Walsingham are going to get interested as well. Van der Velde, by the way, has picked his way back through after losing out in the pit stops. He dropped back to 13th, 14th place. He's now back up into that 10th place. He's just got past Barrier. And I don't know that he'll be able to do anything about 2 honours ahead of him, but it's a few more points than he needs. We've got a penalty on the board for Barrier as well in P11, unfortunately.
Just noticed that, yeah. Unfortunate stat for Valentine Barrier. Not too sure what that's for. We might have to check that out in a minute. But yes, we are all aboard the Dara train again as we go down the back straight for another bit of action. We'll go on board with Luke Whitehead. He can't use his competitor's slipstream in the way we saw it before. However, if Petchenko saw what his competitor was doing before, he might be able to give it a go, but I don't think he's got it in him. I don't think he's got it in him at all. As Luke Whitehead goes for the outside line again. Got to be careful. He is ahead here of Dara, but he has to slam on the brakes. It might give Petchenko.
Watch that Porsche running out wide again.
Oh, he clatters all of the barriers. Whether he kept it in there, Jay, does that count?
Petchenko's just hit Whitehead. He's hit the back of him. That's forced Whitehead out wide. Dura will try to brave around the outside. Luke's going to dive up the inside here. Don't take too much curb. Too early. Judges it perfectly down the inside. I would say that move was almost as good as the one the lap before, because that's such a long, difficult corner to get down the inside. Dura obviously driving a little angry with Luke Whitehead. He's been diving in very late on the brakes, but yeah, round 1 to Whitehead versus Dara to Dara then. And he couldn't brave around the outside of the Porsche that time, but if that happens 3 or 4 laps in a row, Dara's going to get it wrong one of those times with the back end of that Porsche at the moment.
There was contact, by the way, between Grantis Krakus and Petchenko in the final corner. So yeah, just FYI. But we've got some chat going on. So I think it's Niels is in here. Afternoon, buddy. He's saying, according to the sim, he's not gaining time by extending, but I'm sure he's gaining advantage doing it over and over. Maybe. It's obvious, though, isn't it, that Porsche can't go through that corner at full speed. It's obvious, especially on the defence.
Well, it can, yes. It's the defence. It's the inside line he's having to take so late to ensure that nobody gets the inside of him, that he's then not opening up the corner enough. That's then pushing him back out wide. If he is able to take advantage of that, as far as I'm aware, if the game isn't giving you a warning, then there's not much they can do about it, if he's found a way to get around that. If the game thinks he's slower.
I'm on the fence with this one, Jay. I'm not going to lie, because you are not necessarily abusing. I don't think he's abusing, but if you put your competitor's car through into a position because he's defending against a move that you made before, to make that sacrifice of defence, you then sacrifice the exit of your corner, which he's not doing. Which, just because of what corner it is, doesn't mean you can get rid of that sacrifice of the exit of the corner that you had to defend to keep your position. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but as far as I'm aware, he's not. I've only seen him go left of the markers clearly twice.
Yeah.
If he's staying to the right of those markers, doesn't matter how wide he's going. So he's to the right of the markers when he gets to the markers. As far as I'm aware, that's the only point that the track actually tries to measure that. As for the weaving, if there's not a car alongside you,
oh, you're fine for the weaving.
I think it's absolute cricket.
Yeah.
As Luke Whitehead is actually trying down the outside of turn 1 there. Dave tries to hold on. That will kick him out left to the left of those markers that time. Luke White's going to look to the right-hand side, but look at the great run Petchenko's had out of turn 3. He's going to try and go around the outside of the pair of them. Hopefully Dara spotted him. He drifts across the track. Dura had to back out of that slightly. Have the outside line. Luke Whitehead will have to be careful here. No contacts, and that's Caracas now down the inside of Dura.
Oh, Dara's wide!
Side to side, he is. He's kicked it off left. That's going to put Luke Whitehead
now that must be a penalty.
That didn't look great. I'll be honest. He's come out alongside Luke Whitehead, and we'll see really now who does have the better top line speed when there's no slipstream involved.
He's got that inside line he wanted so much. But look what's happening behind. Marek Schintz right in that bundle. But there you go, Luke Whitehead reclaiming the top spot. Good stuff for him. But yeah, I think that was one track limit violation. Oh, and we've been sniped into infinity in that incident as well, Jay. You still with us?
Yeah, I am. I didn't hear it. It's all good. Dara really aggressively trying to force the inside line on Luke. I think he almost was trying to tip his car out the way. Then chucked it down the inside when he did get the inside line. The car did not stick on that occasion, and he's now back up into 7th place. What all this has done has allowed Marco Jonkers and Angel Instroza to get onto the back, and we are now once again nose to tail, 1st to 9th. But it's Luke Whitehead at the head of the field this time.
Oh dear. Yeah, apologies for the sound there. That is a known ACC glitch. So yeah, apologies if you now have stubs for ears. I, for one, am part of the Stub Club, so welcome. It's fun over here. But yeah, apologies. Nothing we can do about that. That is that is just one of the things you get for hosting ACC. But yes, what a race this has opened up to be.
Where are you on board with?
We're on board with camera. I know there's stuff going on around the back end with Dara McCormack and all of that, all going side for side.
Aidan Walsingham going side by side. Dara has a drive-through.
There we go.
So I think he finally has fallen foul to those corner cuts.
Oh, contact.
But he doesn't want to give up the position anyway.
Definitely not.
Well, this has allowed Tinko van der Velde to get onto the back of him as well.
Oh yeah, 10th place. He's come up a position. Yeah, he's back. He's trying. He's just got to hold on. He's got to get as much points as he can. He's obviously not quite got the setup of that Honda well this afternoon, because he's been fighting right up there, hasn't he? But yeah, Dave McCormack, unfortunately, down to 6th place. Dara, obviously, we're joking when we call him Dave. But Marek Schintz got past all of them, look. Up into 5th place again, Jays. Hold on to it as we go almost 3 wide.
Oh. He's gone round the outside of the pair of them. He's got the drive-through now. He might as well have some fun, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
He dives down the outside of Walsingham. Yonkers will now try to... I'd just be smart if I were the 2 Hondas. They know he's got a pit for that drive-through. Don't get caught up in it, boys. He's going to have to pit at some point in the next couple of laps. You know, I said keep an eye on that M6 making their way... Or the M6 is making their way through. Yes. BMW Nils is now up to 15th. And only a couple of seconds behind this battle we're watching. And Black Gold saw up to P18 now. Has got past Hardier, who's dropped back to 19th.
Dara's in, by the way.
Well, it's, it ends the arguments, right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
About whether he was doing it or not. The game will punish him if he continues to do it. I think, ironically, it was turn 1 and 2, his last 2 warnings that he got in that manic defence of firstly Whitehead and then 6th position. But yeah, that's going to ruin his day, unfortunately, and potentially his championship chances.
Yeah, that's a big hit to the championship, actually, come to think of it, isn't it? He's going to be right down there, because this field's so close this afternoon. He's going to be right down the back. But what has happened, though, Jay, is we've got, although the Ripper himself is in 1st place and leading for the first time this season, current championship reigning champion, is in the lead. We've got Grantis Caracas, Arthur Camara, Dura Petchenko and Marek Schintz all in the top 5. I mean, this is absolute nuts. I love this season so far. It's absolutely crazy. And we're going for a change of the lead, and it involves Grantis Caracas, who is actually in the lead now. Luke Whitehead having to settle for 2nd place through turn 8. Fantastic overtake round the outside for Grantis Caracas, and the crowd goes absolutely nuts, mate. I can't believe it's happened again. That was almost as good as what Luke Whitehead Whitehead did earlier on. But Grantis Caracas made it happen with no slipstream.
Well, he got the slipstream originally to then pull out and get alongside. But
you know
he's been
what I mean.
slowly biding his time, hasn't he? He's been sitting behind those front 3 or 4 all race long, and finally that opportunity has opened up, and he's just grabbed it with both hands. It was absolutely clinical to get past Luke Whitehead, and now we'll see what Luke Whitehead's got in terms of whether he can respond and hang on to Caracas. He's just been biding his time. I would suggest maybe just biding his tyres as well, while the rest of them have been sliding all over the track trying to keep up with each other. But,
9 minutes to go,
we'll
Jake. 9 minutes to go as the time ticks down. We have got some movement going on a little further back. Keep an eye on what's happening because the BMWs are getting very close again. These march of BMWs that we've been talking about, led by BMW Nils in 13th place at the moment. Price in 11th, but in a different BMW. These are the M6s we're talking about. Long and wide boys. In 13th place, Black Gold Saw in 17th place back there. They were incredibly close last lap, but that's opened up slightly, so whether there's been some contact, I'm not sure. But yeah, M6s coming strong towards the end. Almost should be an endurance race, Jay. They might work their way to the top.
Yeah, they're just eating them up on the straights, obviously. They've been racing well, picking their way through, and still potentially a sniff. Well, maybe not top. Well, Barrier with his 5-second penalty, actually, maybe a sniff of the top 10. A few more things happen ahead of them. I think Whitehead struggling in that. He's gaining on that straight on Caracas, but not anything like he was doing on the Porsche.
Might have overheated his tyres slightly in all of that fun. So maybe just taking a little step back, like you say about Grantis Caracas, just cooling the car down, letting it cool down. It's got 7 minutes remaining. Doesn't want to go toe to toe straight away. Let things settle and maybe have a go towards the end. We'll have to see. Yeah, don't write off Luke Whitehead just yet, is what I'm trying to say. I've just not seen some driving smarts from, not seen as smart a driving, I should say, from drivers like I've seen with Luke Whitehead before. So yeah, we will see what he does. Is what I'm
he
trying
mixes
to say.
that in with a smattering of
Paddle
of
beating
contact here and there.
Yeah.
Some good old-fashioned coach building. But yeah, you're right. He'd probably be the favourite of this top 4 still, just from what we've seen so far this season. But you know, Cameron's one that's a bit of an unknown as well in that BMW. They've looked very good all day, but towards the end of the stints, they seem to be finding a bit more. And I wonder if maybe it's the M4 that's going to have the tyres on it. We'll have to wait and see. The other barometer of that is Isaac Price. He's actually dropped off a bit from Barrier, so doesn't necessarily have the pace. But yeah, wait and see.
Wiggling resumes.
Back.
Yep. As we try and wiggle our way through the final little bit of this this race. 6 minutes to go. Luke Whitehead is back where he needs to be. I genuinely think he was calling his tyres. That's why he dropped off. Because look how close he is again to the back of Grantis Caracas. It's anyone still, Jay. I would be a fool to say that he's used all of the tyre available to him. I think he's got all of it available, and he will push it to the end. How many more laps can we wrangle out of the rest of this race? What was it, 150?
It's going to be about
3 laps?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah,
some kind of maths in the middle of those.
So let's just double check what the
yeah, no,
penalties
I
are
think
for whilst you continue to watch. Luke Whitehead in second place, by the way.
Yeah, I would agree. It's probably not. They're all going to have tyres left. It's just in comparison to each other, and whether the overheating, if it was that, was because of the battling that was going on. But again, they're just all going to have to be desperate not to make a mistake here. And you're right, it's any of these 4 drivers you would feel. Caracas in that pole position at the moment. With 53 last time around. He's kind of dragging these 4 along now. Now he's at the head of the field. I still feel he is the quickest of the drivers, and it's just the slipstream that's doing him in, unfortunately. What are the penalties that have come in then?
Oh my goodness, I'm not joking. There is no further action for about 25 cars. That's obviously the incident at the beginning. hands me a pizza and quickly scurries out of the room. Thank you for that. I'll have to eat it later. Penalty given for cars, I think it's, oh my god, loads of penalties. I can't go into it. There is license plates given to some people, license points, sorry, given to some people. The main thing though, Jay, and I shouted out when it happened, Statsenko did get a penalty for not holding the brakes after the incident and driving in a dangerous manner and causing a collision. So Statsenko heavily penalised for the turn 1, lap 1 incident, and we thought it would happen, and it was given to him. So yeah, huge penalties for Statsenko. He's been penalised in the race anyway, right? But he definitely got it after the race. His camera goes right up the back of Whitehead, and he's got
skidding across the track.
I think there was a touch there, Jay. That was incredibly close. Let's just quickly go back if I can. But I don't want to miss any action that goes on. Luke Whitehead uses that line again to regain the position.
I think you'll be okay now if you want to grab it.
Let's
I want to see if there's contact as well, whether that was the tyres overheating.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on board with Luke Whitehead from the rear to see if that was a contact from camera. I think there was into 9. Let's have a look. Oh, 100%. 100%. Camera hits him, and that sent him wide into 9 and 10. Yeah, contact between them. A little bit of a push to pass, but Luke Whitehead managed to sort himself out and get that position back. But yeah, there was definitely contact, Joe.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, that's definitely on camera. I mean, to be fair, he's paid the price for it. He's now back to 4th, but obviously Luke Whitehead's the one that's paid the bigger price, not of his own volition. It has allowed Crackers to have a little gap now. And if he is the fastest of these top 4, as I suspect, this is his chance to break away for a victory here. If he can stay outside that 1 second, although that's straight, to be honest, up until what, like 1.2, 1.3 seconds, you're probably still picking up some kind of toe, just because of the distance. Petchenko, oh, he's really pushing to try and stay in that second, put the car a little bit out wide, and I think that's going to put him under pressure from Luke Whitehead now. So now we'll see how aggressive Petchenko is going to be in trying to hold that inside line. Luke Whitehead, doesn't matter if there's cones, blue lines, curbs there, he's going to have that inside line. If I was Petchenko, I would keep as right as possible though, but I think Luke Whitehead might even be past. How's your net code, boys? Because he's going to move across anyway, and that was too early.
Oh, gee, Luke Whitehead swearing in panel beating language there, as he's probably going to have to do some more repair work. Inside line, though, and a switch back from Luke Whitehead. Fantastic driving from the Briton, and there is contact again.
He's moved over again too early, and that's put Kramer alongside him, but that was a switchback of dreams.
Oh my goodness, Luke Whitehead, fantastic driving this afternoon. Yes, there's been a few touches, but that switchback was a piece of art. Oh my god, can you tell we're fans of Luke Whitehead this afternoon? Grantis Karakis, I think, is going to go ahead and get his first win for AOR. We will get one more lap. We've got another lap, another turn of the key in this race. It's going to heat up once again. Marek Schintz in 5th place, still holding on. He's got to be my driver of the day this afternoon. Old Marek Schintz, 5th place. Sorry, out of that, we've got one more lap to go, Jay. Jura Petchenko and Kamera are going to go toe-to-toe into turn 1. They switch back into position. Kamera holding the inside line. Oh my god, but that switch back through 9 from Luke Whitehead was poetry.
It was. He almost didn't make it back in front of Petchenko for a second time in as many corners, but he did just manage to get it done and then hold off from Kamera. We'll see if he can do that down the main straight. In all of that, who we think is probably going to be the championship leader after this, Van der Velde, has found another couple of positions. He's up to P8 now, and potentially has Yonkers, and we'll see him on the last lap to try and improve that position. But the main battle here is definitely going to be between Kamera and Whitehead as they go down this long straight. Then how's the straight line speed on that M4?
I don't think he's going to have enough left.
Not looking good.
No, don't think he's going to have enough to threaten Luke Whitehead here. I think this is Luke's to gain. And I think deservedly. I know Luke's given as much as he's got, but those taps he's had from both, from Kamera almost on 2 occasions now. Yeah, deservedly in that place.
Really good run out of it though.
Huge.
And he is going to try it round the left-hand side. Luke Whitehead covered the right really early. The cut back from Kamera. There's a lot of curb he can use there if he wants to, but crucially he's going to be on the outside for the left-hander. I don't think he'll find a way around here. He might be better off trying to cut back underneath, but Jura's there. He almost isn't able to. Kamera almost pushing Luke Whitehead through that corner, and they exit as they entered. I didn't think they would, but they did.
Fantastic racing from all of them. Black Gold Sword gets drive-through, by the way. Not too sure where that came from. But we'll go on board with this. Look,
Oh, what a late move from Petrochenko into the final corner, and Shins gets past him as well. Krakus has crossed the line to take his first Tier 1 victory. Talk us through the rest of them. But
it's all good. We missed
incredibly late.
We missed what happened there. Marek Shintz gets the job done, up to 4th place on the line there. So we missed a little bit of drama. Maybe we should quickly just run back and see what happens between those boys, because it looks like it was a bit of fantastic racing. Marek Shintz miles away. So what happened there? Who made the move? Was it? Oh, it was Petrochenko. And there was another touch. There was another touch between Camera and Luke Whitehead, and Dura jumped up the inside, managed to get the position. And obviously Camera dropped down one. Marek Shintz snuck up there and claimed 4th place. Oh, 2 positions on the last corner for Camera after he tries to gobble one up from Luke Whitehead. Oh my God. There we go. Fantastic racing afternoon for these boys. I know they're all coming across the line. We'll go down what happened in order. Obviously, we should focus on Grantis Caracas. First win in Tier 1 AOR. He's had wins in Tier 2, so it's no stranger to the top step, but definitely a new winner with us here at Tier 1. So he takes the win. Luke Whitehead in 2nd place. Jura Petrochenko in 3rd. Marek Shintz in 4th flipping place in a Mercedes AMG with this field. Fantastic drive from Marek Shintz. Arthur Camera losing out there. Could have easily got 3rd place, but didn't. Unfortunately settles for 5th. Walsingham in 6th. Yonkers 7th. Tinker van der Velde up to 8th place after that. Good drive from him to a good recovery from him. Hopefully we'll hold on to the championship with that. Because of what happened with Dara. Where is Dara after all of this? It's Angel and Price in 9th and 10th. I'm not too sure where Dara finished. Of course, the massive drive-through. Black Gold Sword did well, but obviously had the drive-through at the end. I wonder where he finished, Dara, after all of that.
P26 in the end. I think there was late. Oh, there's a 30-second penalty for Black Gold Sword as well, dropping him to P28 after that recovery.
Yeah.
There is a wild Malinowski at the back of this field.
Is he?
I don't know where he popped in. It says he's done his mandatory pit stop, so...
Didn't see the Tortellini man all afternoon.
I think he jumped in. I think he was just wanting to get a bird's eye view of all the action there.
I
did actually find his way onto track.
He might have just watched. Get his little...
I know, but he's done his mandatory.
Has he?
Which is interesting. Anyway, that's not the story, really.
It's still quite funny. Nice to see Tortellini coming back in, but I would like to see him fighting against these guys, to be fair. It's another Porsche to fight against Dara. So yeah, I hope he does come and take part for the rest of the season. Haven't seen him so far. Well, hopefully we get a chat with the top 3. We haven't had a chat with Grantis Caracas yet, so that would be fantastic if we could get him in the booth for a little chat, a little post-race chat. So yeah, what a race. I don't even know how to talk about the end there. It was absolutely nuts. So we top 3 at least was Grantis Caracas, Luke Whitehead, and was it Jura
Petrochenko in the end, yeah. Although I don't think he's going to hold on to that with that dive on the final corner. Well, to be honest, I don't think a lot of people are going to hold on to position.
I've got a funny feeling,
but we just don't know.
Camera's going to get a penalty post-race. I just so many taps. He tapped Whitehead on the final corner, and that's what caused Jura Petrochenko to take the dive. Well, I rewound it, and there was contact between this man, who were just about to drag in and say hello, and Camera at the end. And obviously, Jura then took advantage. First time you've joined us in the comms box, Luke. Welcome to your regular spot here. Current champion of AOR Tier 1. He joins us for 2nd place this afternoon. We said that you are the Minister of Offence and sometimes Defence, and you do have a good team of panel beaters on board. You're going to need them after today, mate. Not going to lie. There was lots of rubbing.
So, can you hear me?
We can.
Just checking. Awesome stuff.
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, shut up.
No, that's a shame. That's a shame. I am absolutely done in after that. I could not have won that race, I think. Caracas drove a phenomenal one. I've got to say, well done to him first off. He played his cards right, had the quicker car, had the quicker driver in it. So massive congrats to him. I think it's his first AOR win, if I recall correctly. So
first Tier 1, at least. I
think
he's got tier 2.
Okay, yeah, he drove an absolute stonker. So well done to Grantis. And yeah, I mean, from turn 1, it was already a bit hectic. I mean, don't think I could have done anything. I'm yet to see the incident, but I mean, I was on the white line on the outside, waited, left room for about 5 cars, and still managed to collide with Statsenko. So I'll need to have a look and see what happened. But I mean, I'm streaming at the moment, and all of my chat said it was said I couldn't really have done anything. And then obviously we made the moves where we could, got the move on Walsingham, got the move on Caracas. Then it was just about getting past the top two. Obviously McCormick and Petrochenko were there for the whole time, and they didn't make it easy, that's for sure. Obviously Petrochenko is always a very stern attacker and defender. Had a good risky battle with him, and then obviously it was all about getting that pesky Porsche in the lead. And again, McCormick didn't make it easy on me, but he made a slight error in sector 1. I was able to just slip my nose up the inside, and he didn't. I don't know whether we made contact or not, but I was far enough alongside for the corner to be there. So I made the move I could, and then that turn 8 around the outside of Dara was my life flashed before my eyes. I'll be honest. But I knew I had to do it, because if I didn't, I'd get overtaken. I'd get freight trained. I think he spun at that corner, unfortunately. But
I think Rage broke the sound barrier when you did that. By the way.
we had the ACC sniper come in.
Oh, there was that as well. I just meant you screaming.
Oh, I did scream too. Yeah, mate. I must say, some of those overtakes, especially the little cutback in turn 9 against Jura Petrochenko and Grantis and Camera. When you were switching around, Camera got the inside going into 9, and you switched back and managed to just slot in between them like butter. It's some of the most ballsy overtaking I've seen from you, mate. It's fantastic driving. And the overtake as well, when you used Dara as the slipstream and didn't wiggle with the rest to manage to gain. It's just, you used your head in such a way that I haven't seen before, and it works so well. Fair enough, you didn't get the win. Grantis just got it at the end there, but, I mean, drama from the get-go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you said, I bump drafted Caracas until he got to Walsingham, and I think those two are teammates, because they wouldn't attack each other. So I knew that if I bump drafted Caracas, and I was like, okay, he's not going to go past, he's going to lift. So when he lifted, I just went past. So I was playing a bit of chess there. But yeah,
should we ask?
I mean, yeah, sure. But yeah, I'd say, just to finish up, I called it my best race that I've ever done in sim racing, because of how strategic I had to be and how robust I had to be. And obviously the Honda was not the quickest car there. It wasn't the strongest, but I did everything I could and got P2 somehow. So I'm ecstatic for that, and hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Oh, it was correct. Sorry, Jay.
I was going to say, you didn't look like you had the pace, but the way you did just almost clinically pick your way up through that top 10 in that first stint, was something to behold. And look, I remember sitting here when you took the championship last year that you were a little down that you hadn't had as much of a challenge. I think you're going to get that this year.
Yes.
It's definitely going to be a struggle to retain your crown,
Dara
but gone a long way to it this race.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm turning around my season. I've had a torrid one so far, so hopefully this is the start of some good results.
Yeah, well, long overdue, and second place, good points, 88, I believe. But yeah, fantastic, mate. That will get your season off and running, hopefully. I'll leave you in whilst we just bring old Grantis Caracas in. I hope we're saying the name right, Mr. Caracas. I know you've had a good rise through Tier 2, and you were highly praised by Timosaurus at the time, the current commentator for Tier 2. And you've come in here, you've put it all on the line, and absolutely got your first win in Tier 1 AOR. And you did it against Luke, the current reigning champion. How does that feel, buddy?
Oh my god, I don't know. It feels absolutely amazing. Like, I wasn't expecting to be like fighting for P1, especially after that qualifying. It was quite bad qualifying for me. And I don't know, it was like awesome battles all the entire race. Like, I enjoyed every moment of it. And I don't know, I just somehow did it.
I mean, it was a great race, reasonably good qualifying, but you pulled it back in the race. That's the main thing. You went round the outside into turn 8 on Luke Whitehead. You almost caught him napping there towards the end, and then after the calamities that ensued behind him, you managed just to pip it at the end. But what me and Jay noticed, you were always there. You played a good strategic game, and you kept the car in a good place to make the opportunities come later. Was that always the plan, or did it just kind of happen as you were going round?
Yeah, I was always trying to take it safe, like try to let others ahead fight, and maybe I can like use that advantage. So yeah, it kind of worked out for me, and yeah, I'm very happy with that.
I like it that you've got the Quali bottler tag. So did you think you bottled Quali today?
Yeah, I think so again. Like I had for time for like P4, P5, something like that. I mean, it's not far away, but like last week I was like P30, so that's a really quality bottle.
Well, you're 6th place in the championship at the moment. You're going to get yourself 100 points. You're going to be right up there, I think, now in the top 4, I think, possibly, because Dara didn't have a very good race. Championship win on the cards?
I don't think so. I'm not like that competitive. Like McLaren is like the strongest car in this track, so it was quite a bit of lucky, but yeah, I can still fight for like some really good positions in the championship for sure.
I mean, you're right up there with the boys who are properly going toe-to-toe. On points, you're going to be very close with Luke Whitehead anyway, so you got good company. And it's great to see your first win in tier 1, so well done, buddy.
Thank you.
No worries.
Brilliant job.
I was going to say, Jay, anything to finish off? Anything to ask before we run away?
No, just congratulations. Like, there was so much chaos going on in that top 10 to keep your head. And then I just had a feeling when you broke towards the front there that you'd been biding your time a little bit. And the pace you showed once you did hit the front showed that you truly deserved to win that. So look to build on it. McLaren might not be as strong at the other races, but that's got to be a huge confidence boost. And yeah, well done, man.
Thank you.
Is it it's not the first in AOR, is it? But it's the first in tier 1.
First win in tier 1, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you set tier 2 on fire a couple of seasons ago. Because I remember one of the commentators saying, "You've got to watch out for Grantis Caracas because he's pretty damn speedy." So yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations. Good race today, and like I say, you kept a clean head. So yeah, very well done, and long may it continue. Welcome to the top spots.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
No worries, Luke. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. Thanks for joining us.
I hope so. Hopefully next week. I'd love to be back here more often.
Yeah, no. If you haven't already, how can we find you, Luke and Grantis? Have you got your Twitters and your YouTubes and your Twitches all live, or what are we doing?
I've got my Twitch up. I've just finished streaming. It's twitch.tv/LukeWhitehead_. It's quite a mouthful. But yeah, love to have more of you in there. It'd be great to have people in stream. But yeah, these guys do it the best. Apex Online Racing, their coverage is always top notch. Love Rage, love Jamie, all the best guys. So yeah, wouldn't want to take viewers from you. Wouldn't take viewers.
I was going to say, hang on, he's not paying for this, but that was so lovely that we'll let you off this time.
Grantis, where can people find you? Buddy?
Just like type Grantis Caracas in Twitter, and they're probably gonna find me.
There you go. You want to find out what these boys are doing? Hop on over. Right, we'll leave you boys. Thanks very much. We'll see you on the top spots soon, I'm sure.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
You too.
Cheers.
Well, there we go, Jay.
You'll have a bit of post-race drama.
Oh, yes. I have heard the post-race drama, but do tell.
Well, someone beat me to it in chat, but yeah, Jurapetchenko has been handed a 5-second penalty for causing a collision and gaining position because of what we saw in that final corner, I believe. So that's dropped him to 9th place, unfortunately.
So what's that done for everyone else?
That's moved them up a position for all those that were behind him.
And who was in 4th place?
It's what it means is if he wants an interview,
Marek Schintz.
I don't know if he's about. Marek Schintz is on the podium in that Mercedes.
Driver of the day from
the line in 3rd place. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
It more than makes up for the bad luck last time out in Watkins Glen. It's a great podium. I'm just gonna check my stat sheet.
Oh, statistics corner. Yeah.
He has a podium. He has a 2nd place in Tier 1 in Season 8.
Really?
So he's been here for the long haul. He has a 3rd place in Season 4 at Bathurst, so it's his 3rd podium.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just returning.
Schintz. I'm sorry.
Well, this is his first season back since Season 8, apparently.
Oh.
So just been away for a little while.
Well, I was there. I was
he
here.
He was always here. What's the Ricardo line?
Oh, he never left. Yeah. He was always, I don't know. One of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's been a long day.
Ricardo vibes for that comment. We'll come back to it. Anyway, P4 for Arthur Camera. Well done. All the cake, no bananas. That's a saying, right? We should probably leave it there.
Oh, we don't. I can't talk. It's been a long day.
Well, it's going to be even longer next time. You know why? We're in Indianapolis, first time we've been there, and also it's an hour-and-a-half race. So Jay, get your sleeps in before then.
God.
If you want to, I know. If you want to join us next week, you can do. It's at 7:30, same time, same place on the YouTube channel for Apex Online Racing. Whilst you're here, why don't you hit subscribe if you haven't already? Why are you not? Crazy. If you want to join us tomorrow, we'll be doing the Tier 2 stuff for the Tier 2 boys. The second fastest, the second most crazy. You've got Nuttall, Makowski and Lipka all battling it out for the top spot. I think McCole, Watson, Solon and Mellis are down there. And you've got Peachman and Koroshovan and Hurt inside the top 10. Who will come out on top? Probably not the Ferraris. It's going to be a good old race. Join us at 7:30 for that. It will probably be with the John Watts, the one, the only. He will be in the comms box for that one, so if you fancy some more racing round this track, you can join him there. Shall we end it for this afternoon? It's been emotional, it's been fun, it's been rubbing, and those panel beaters better get to work, eh?
Yeah, I've got a right old job to do before Indianapolis, but yeah, I'm going to go take a lie down and a nice bath.
Ooh. What are we bathing in? Are we going to go proper Gerrit of Rivendell bath, or are we just going to go for, the peasant bath?
I can't even answer that question. You just said Gerrit of Rivendell.
Isn't that his name? What was it, Jon Snow of Winterfell?
That's a crossover and a half.
What is it?
What do I see, Legolas? It's
No!
Geralt of Rivia.
Rivia. Oh, it's close enough, man. Sorry, I don't know those Witcher memes. Anyway, you know what
It's close enough but one is clearly Lord of the Rings.
One is Lord of the Rings.
I said an ice
Witcher.
bath, but yeah.
Okay, we're not going to go feet over the end or anything like that. All right, well, we'll quickly slide away from bath chat. No, he's not. Okay, guys, thanks for jumping in. Chat, you've been great as always. Oh, God, we're still getting spammed with sex bots. We'll get rid of those. It wouldn't be an AOR chat if it wasn't being spammed with sex bots. There we go. Anyway, thanks very much. We will see you next time. There's been some analogies this afternoon. I think we even talked about pine trees at one point, Jay.
I don't know about Kimi Räikkönen's Book of Haikus, but Raging Cheese Book of Analogies.
Why not?
Coming soon to shelves near you.
Yeah, I think so. Epsom salts, a glass of wine and candlelight. Soft music. Okay, Simeon. Enjoy all of the kangaroos. We'll see you next week. I'm sure you'll be here, as will all the other boys. We'll end it there. Have a fantastic evening. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, in a bit.